What's going on, guys? It's your boy Nick coming at you today with a live duel video of Myutant Ghoti going against my good friends Umi Fisherman Control. Bit of an amalgamation of a bunch of different things. Both decks were featured on the channel and profiled, and I will say that I optimized the Myutant Ghoti list slightly, not by much, but there were some changes made since the profile went up. But we're going to pit these decks up today in a profile best of 3 and see who can manage to come out on top. I think both my opponent and I have already pile shuffled our decks, so we're going to jump right in. For those of you new to the channel, welcome. My name is Nick. We do live duel videos, deck profiles, deck discussions. If those are things that you're interested in, then I urge you to please subscribe. We just hit that 500 subscriber benchmark on the channel, and I couldn't do it without your guys' help. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and cut each other's decks and see who can come out on top. Like I said, both of these decks were featured on the channel as profiles. The Myutant Ghoti deck, like I said, is a bit optimized since the profile went up, but not too much has changed. For the most part, it's relatively the same build. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and do a high roll. That is a 6. Alright, what did you roll? You rolled an 8. You get to pick if you're going to go first or second.
I'll go first.
Alright, good luck, duels.
Good list.
Alright, let's see what we can do. Alright.
I'm going to activate Legendary Ocean.
Okay, what does it do?
It's a field spell. It's always treated as Umi. When it hits the field, all water monsters on the field gain 200 attack and defense, and they reduce their levels by 1.
Okay, not a problem.
And that's for both players.
Both players, gotcha. Yeah, so that's Legendary Ocean, also treated as Umi. Pretty much the mainstay of his deck, and kind of what keeps everything afloat, pun intended.
I'm going to go ahead and normal summon, or attempt to normal summon, Legendary Fisherman 2.
Okay, and that's because his level's reduced.
Right.
So it's level 4
now.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
And this card states that his name is Legendary Fisherman while on the field,
Okay.
or in the graveyard. And while Umi's on the field, this card is unaffected by other monsters' effects. And if this card is sent to destroy by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, while I control it, I can add a level 7 water monster from my deck, from the deck to my hand.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, and I'm going to set.
Okay.
And I'm going to pass.
Okay, nothing. Draw for turn. Anything on the draw phase?
You're good.
Anything on the standby?
You're good.
Cool. We're going to be jumping into main phase here. I will attempt to normal summon my copy of Mutant. Anything on the normal summon?
Nope.
Okay. Mutant, I will attempt to activate his effects. He tributes himself as cost, and then as cost, I get to banish a mutant card from my hand or deck. And then depending on the type of card banished, I can summon the appropriate mutant boss from my hand or deck, but then I take damage equal to that monster's attack. So go ahead and pay the cost here. I think I'm going to banish a copy of Mutant Cry. And that will allow me to special summon Mutant Arsenal straight out of my deck. Assuming it resolves, unless you have anything to say about it. So I will special summon Mutant Arsenal to my side of the field. And then I will proceed to take damage equal to his attack, which is 3,000. Seems like a hefty cost, but Mutant Arsenal is pretty cool. It's a 3,000 attack. It cannot be targeted by trap cards. And whenever a monster effect is activated as a quick effect, I can banish a card that I control or have in my hand, and I can target a monster on the field and banish it.
I'm going to play Torrential.
Okay, in response to the summon. That is extremely unfortunate. Yeah, so it will get destroyed by Torrential, as well as I think your Fisherman will too.
Yes.
You can see Arsenal does float, but unfortunately I don't have any banished mutant spells, so I won't be able to float into anything. Still my turn, however. I think I'm just going to go ahead and set. And set. And set. Set 3 back row. Pass it over to you.
Okay.
Draw. Okay.
I'm gonna set one.
Okay.
Pass turn.
Thinking at end phase, I will go ahead and I'm going to activate Mutant Expansion. What this lets me do, it's a continuous track. When it's activated, I can take a level 4 or lower Mutant monster from my deck and either add it to my hand or special summon it. So I'm going to special summon a copy of Mutant MO5 from my deck, and I will attempt to use this effect. When it's normal or special, I can add a mutant monster from the deck to my hand.
Is that my turn?
This is the end phase of your turn. You actually set that this turn.
Yeah, it's a spell.
Is it a quick play?
It's a regular spell. No,
Okay. No. Okay. No.
Never mind.
Cool. So then I'll activate MO5, and I will search a copy of Mutant ST46 from deck to hand. Yeah, keep in mind, so for everybody watching this, so my good friend who I built this deck for, if you watched his profile, I stated that he's just getting into Yu-Gi-Oh, so he's still trying to learn the ropes. You know how it goes. Yu-Gi-Oh is very complicated, and we all make mistakes, so try not to be too hard on him in the comments if he misplays or does something a little unconventional. But for reference, normal spells can only be activated during your main phase, whether it's main phase 1 or 2. Quick plays can be activated at any point, but if you set a quick play spell, it functions like a trap, meaning it can't be activated until the following turn. So anyway, that's the end phase. We're good then. So then I will proceed to the draw phase of my turn. Anything on the draw phase?
Good.
Standby okay?
Yep.
Wonderful. Thinking how I want to go about this here. So we're in the main phase. I'm going to activate Mutant Cry. And unless you have a response to this, what it's going to do is I can fusion summon a Mutant Fusion monster from my extra deck by shuffling fusion materials listed on it into my deck from among the cards on my field, in my graveyard, and or my face-up banished cards. So I'm going to fuse using the Arsenal in the graveyard and the Mutant in the graveyard by shuffling them back into the deck, and I'll be able to fusion summon into a Mutant Fusion monster of my choice. Cut that. The card I will be summoning here is Mutant Synthesis. It requires 2 mutant monsters with different attributes. Arsenal was a fire, Mutant was a water. Mutant Synthesis, when it's fusion summoned, I can target a card in the field and destroy it. Targeting is cost, so I'm going to attempt to target your back row. Do you have a response?
Nope.
Okay, then it will be destroyed and go to the graveyard. Cool. Then I will normal summon Mutant ST46 and activate its effect when it's normal summoned. Also Mutant Cry, just to agree, excuse me. Upon normal or special, Mutant ST46 lets me search for a mutant spell trap from deck to hand. I will grab. Here. I think we'll grab a copy of Mutant Clash. Seems like a good start. Then I'm going to activate my field spell, which is Mutant Evolution Lab, in my field zone. When it's activated, I can special summon a level 4 or lower mutant monster that's in my hand or that's banished. I'm not going to be doing that. However, I will be using the third effect of this card, and it states I can place a mutant monster from my hand on the bottom of my deck, and if I do, draw one card. So I'll take the mutant beast that's in my hand, place that on the bottom, and I will go ahead and draw one card. Right. Then I will activate the effect of Mutant MO5, tributing itself, and banishing the ST46 on field as cost, so I can attempt to special summon from my deck a copy of Mutant Beast. The Mutant Beast is pretty interesting here. I can summon this because I banished a monster off of MO5's effect. Mutant Beast cannot be targeted by monster effects. And then as a quick effect, when you activate a spell card or spell effect, I can banish a card that I control or have in my hand to negate that activation and banish that spell. So Mutant Beast is pretty cool. Then I will be entering my battle phase. Also, Mutant Evolution Lab secondary effect applies while it's face up. All of my mutant monsters gain 100 attack for each banished mutant card with a different name. So I have 2 banished mutant
You
cards.
also get 200 off of Legendary Ocean.
And that is true too. Legendary Ocean does buff the attack of all waters, and Synthesis happens to be a water, so he is also buffed. So Synthesis is actually 2,900 here, which is pretty familiar. So I will swing for 29, and then I will swing for 24 directly. Alright, then I will go main phase 2. I will set one, and I will set another card in my back row, and I will pass with that.
Okay. Draw?
Yep. It's pretty interesting back and forth here. So Mutant Ghoti is... It's funny because you guys haven't seen any of the Ghoti stuff in play. Right now I'm just playing pure Mutant. But Mutant as a deck is... It's pretty strong. I mean, it's not the craziest thing in the world, but as a rogue deck, it definitely can make some interesting plays. My opponent here on the kind of on the ropes. I mean, he's on a bit of a clock.
I'm gonna play, or I'm gonna attempt to normal summon Ocean Dragonlord.
Ocean Dragonlord Kairyu-Shin.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about the summon.
While Umi's on the field, each player can only command one face-up non-water monster.
Okay, so it's kind of like a floodgate. I can only control one non-water.
And if a player controls 2 or more, they must send some to the graveyard. Let's see. Also, I can activate. He has an effect. I can search for an Umi, a Kairyu-Shin, spell or trap, or a Sea Stealth card from my deck to my hand.
Okay, so he's a floodgate that doesn't activate either. It's just a continuous effect. And then during your main phase, you can search a certain amount of cards. Right. Interesting. Okay, luckily, the only non-water I control is Beast at the moment. He's an Earth, but Synthesis is a water, so I'm able to legally still control both of these. Because what would happen is if neither of these are water, I would effectively, once that card is summoned successfully, I would pretty much have to like send one of these to the graveyard of my choice. And I couldn't even respond with anything until after I do that, because his card doesn't activate. So it's pretty crazy. Ocean Dragonlord is a very strong card. But go ahead and proceed.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to activate his effect.
To search?
Search.
Thinking on that. I will chain Mutant Clash to continuous track. It states, when I activate this card, I can target an effect monster the opponent controls as cost, so I'll be targeting your Ocean Dragonlord. Do you have any response?
Nope.
And then if it resolves, I banish a mutant monster from my graveyard. In this case, I will banish my copy of MO5 that's in the graveyard. And then I can negate the targeted monster's effects until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. Okay. And then since another mutant got banished, Synthesis increases attack by another 100, because it's another banished mutant card with a different name. So he's currently sitting at 3,000 between the buff from my field spell and the buff from yours.
Okay.
Still your turn. And then he's 2,400 attack.
Okay. That's her.
Okay. I will draw for turn. Anything on draw phase?
Nope.
Standby?
You good?
Okay. Let's see here. I think we just go straight to battle phase and try and clean this up. Enter battle phase?
Sure.
I will go Beast and attack over your Ocean Dragonlord for a difference of 200, excuse me. Or actually, no, Beast is, he is buffed, isn't he? Yeah. So Beast is 2,700 attack because I have 3 banished mutant cards. So 27 into your 22 is 500. And your card does get destroyed. And then I will attack directly with Synthesis for 3,000 for what should be game.
Okay.
GG, man.
GG.
So Mutant Ghoti takes game 1 against Umi Control or Ocean Dragonlord Fisherman deck. I think Mutant, like, it was funny because I really didn't play much of the Ghoti stuff at all. I didn't draw into it or see it. But Mutant as a whole can function pretty well for the most part, you know, on its own merit, which is cool. I think it just got established early on, and I think you had that early torrential and it helped, but I think, I don't know, what you felt?
I didn't have a hand. That was the only thing I had.
I felt like it, because it seemed like you kind of ran out of resources quickly, but sometimes it is what it is. But yeah, so Mutant Ghoti takes game 1 against Fisherman Control, but don't sleep on Fisherman Control, because honestly, that deck is pretty cracked. I think the only disadvantage you have against me is the fact that, like, usually Ocean Dragonlord is enough to sit behind and, like, have your opponent struggle to out it because they can't control more than one non-water. But what ends up hurting you is the fact that Mutants and Ghotis play a lot of water attribute stuff, so the Floodgate doesn't really bother them all that much. They're still able to play without much, you know, issues. But with that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and run straight into the second duel video. I'm going to make Game 2 its own video, just for anybody watching. You know, they can watch this in pieces and they're not sitting there for too long. But go ahead and leave a comment down below what you thought of the duel and what you think of both decks. And like the video as well, and subscribe if you haven't already. And like I said, I'll leave a link for Game 2 in the description down below.